When you install jack nuts, are you frustrated that they spin and they don't catch? Well, I've got a solution for this. Stay tuned. I love jack nuts. I think they're the best way to get a firm connection of things you're trying to attach to any surface. And on this channel, of course, we focus on kayaks, and kayaks are made out of HDPE plastic. And many of the kayak do-it-yourselfers will debate between well nuts and jack nuts. And here's the view. These are well nuts and these are jack nuts. And you can see that with the cross arrangement, that they create a much greater surface area for your kayak to install those utilities. But the problem is, plastic is slick. And many times when you install a jack nut, it's just gonna spin like that, and you're not going to be able to screw it in and get the firm connection that you see right here. Well, thankfully, I've got a brilliant user, and I can't pronounce his handle, but it's right here, who sent me the solution. Let me show you what it is. What you're going to do is you're going to get a 1/16 inch drill bit, the smallest that I can find, and we're going to drill through the top of the jack nut into the kayak, into the whatever you're mounting it on, and then we're going to drop a very small nail through that hole and then through the material. And that nail will keep everything from spinning. Now there's a trick to this. When you look at how a jack nut lays out, it's got the 4 prongs here, so we need to make sure that we don't drill a hole where it's going to interfere with the legs. And so the way to do that is when you look at your jack nut, you can see where those prongs are going to come up. So take a marker and mark in between the prongs, and now I'm going to know where to drill. If you have a problem using the drill, one thing that I've discovered is that using a triangular file against the spot where you want to run the nail through actually works even easier, because the drill kind of slips around a little bit. So that's what I've done. And you can see that I've got the nail in right here. And it's between the legs, as you can see right here. Now I'll attach my tool to it and we'll crank this down. I've got 2 results to show you here. You can see the small nail is right there. I did my best to get it lined up between those legs, but when I was putting it in, it slipped a little bit, and so this one only has 3 prongs locking it down, whereas this one just pushed the nail out of the way, and I've got all 4 prongs. So I don't know if there's a way to fix that, but I think even with this arrangement right here, or even this is a nice secure connection when you've probably already made the hole and you're stuck with it anyway. So just go for it. And again, I found that making the hole, basically just the U on the outside of the jack nut with the file, was a little bit easier than trying to drill the little hole in the top of the jack nut, because this metal is pretty solid and pretty robust. So it was hard to get the drill bit through, but I eventually did, and it'll work as well. So what do you guys think? Is that a good solution for a spinning jack nut? I think this worked out just fine. I tell you, these aren't going anywhere. If this was on my kayak, I'd be very comfortable attaching an accessory or utility track to this. Comments? Throw them down below. Thanks.